Every choice, every experience in your life has contributed to your current state of health. Each scar, wrinkle, and injury has a unique narrative to tell. BodyTalk provides the tools to raise your self-awareness while considering the whole story of your health.
Hello and welcome to It's a Journey podcast. How are you healing today? Your host, Stephanie Naidu, welcomes guests from different parts of the globe with professional expertise in health and holistic wellness. Holistic means physical, emotional, social, and spiritual well-being. So what do all of our guests have in common? It's their dedication to help us with our healing journey and personal development. Let's dive into this new episode with our special guest and explore the answers in order to continue our personal journey's exploration towards healing and self-love.
Matthew Rubin is a Certified BodyTalk Practitioner. He's trained in Western Astrology and has over 10 years of experience working in alternative healthcare. Matthew's educational background is in the arts and biomedical engineering. But after a challenging personal event, he reevaluated and reset his approach to life. Matthew's quest to find a holistic healthcare system led him to discover BodyTalk, which gave him a better understanding of the body's own language and the true underlying causes of disease when looking at the whole person's story. Matthew genuinely feels that anyone can achieve better health as the mind-body-spirit complex is designed and capable to heal itself. After witnessing his own health and life balance improve dramatically with BodyTalk, he was inspired to help others to improve their overall well-being, enhance awareness, and to live life more consciously. Hi, Matt. It's such a pleasure to have you today.
Hi, Stephanie. Yeah, thanks for organizing this. It's great to be here.
So today we're going to talk about BodyTalk. And we're going to have a few questions. And the first question I have for you is, what was your journey that led you to where you are now as a Certified BodyTalk Practitioner?
Yeah, I've always wanted to do something health-related with my career ever since I was in grad school. I went into biomedical engineering thinking I would design medical implants and prosthetics after I graduated. But during my studies, I always found my classmates coming to me for emotional support and personal advice. I actually enjoyed being this healer to them more than working on my graduate thesis. But back then, I didn't know about BodyTalk or much about energy medicine. Even if I did, I don't think it would have been a career option. It just wasn't the time yet. But I actually never became a biomedical engineer. Instead, I went into the movie industry and became a digital artist. But that's another story. I would say that my journey really began a decade later. A close friend of mine who was a craniosacral therapist encouraged me to look for energy healing workshops to help me with some issues I was going through. At first, I was really against the idea. I didn't believe a workshop like this could help or even existed where I lived. But after some convincing, I began looking around. And I was able to find this 8-week psychic meditation and energy healing program near my home. And it was starting up the following week. I took this as a sign and just went with it. I didn't have any expectations at all. I just was really more curious about what's taught in a class like this rather than it being of any practical use. I didn't expect this experience to change my life like it did. It awakened me to see my true self. I was able to give myself permission to live a more happy, inspired, and confident life. It's something I would never have foreseen a few months earlier. This new awareness sparked an interest to explore other energy healing systems. Over the years, I learned a variety of healing modalities. I've done clairvoyant aura readings, oracle card readings, Reiki, pendulum dowsing, mediumship, and astrology. I love doing all of these, but I felt something was still missing. That began my journey to find a holistic healthcare system that bridges a gap between Western medicine and alternative healing methods. This eventually led me to find BodyTalk. After my first BodyTalk session, I was really intrigued by how the system takes your full story into consideration and determines your body's priorities for healing. BodyTalk gave me a better understanding that the body has its own language. It's only when looking at the whole person, the physical, mental, emotional, and environmental influences that the root cause of disease can be revealed. That's it.
I actually very recently discovered BodyTalk, and if I didn't have a friend just tell me about it, I don't know if it would have taken me like a long time, because a lot of people talk about yoga and meditations, very popular, but really rarely I heard about BodyTalk. So can you tell me what is BodyTalk?
Yeah, that's a good question too. I didn't know about BodyTalk either until a friend brought it up. I had no idea it even existed, and so I'm glad they mentioned it to me. But BodyTalk is a very simple, safe, and effective form of therapy. It allows the body's energy systems to be resynchronized so that it can return to an optimal state of health. The BodyTalk system takes a holistic approach to health. It addresses the whole person and considers every aspect of the human psyche. It recognizes that the body is designed with a natural feeling ability to heal itself. And it recognizes that the psychology of the body has a profound influence on their overall health. BodyTalk takes a deeper look at the issues by identifying the root cause of illnesses rather than just focusing on the physical symptoms. So by observing the bigger picture, you begin to understand that your physical condition represents what's going on in the mental and emotional aspects of your life. When you encounter stress, whether it's physical or emotional, it can cause communication breakdowns between your body's cells and systems. This eventually leads to discomfort and disease. Every choice, every experience in your life has contributed to your current state of health. Each scar, wrinkle, and injury has a unique narrative to tell. BodyTalk provides the tools to raise your self-awareness while considering the whole story of your health. The BodyTalk techniques offer insights to areas of your body that require attention. What might seem like an obvious problem to you is not necessarily what your body wants to address first. BodyTalk works on the concept of priorities to address your body's imbalances. This allows the practitioner to attend to your most immediate needs, which rapidly accelerates the healing process. Light tapping and non-invasive techniques restore harmony and stimulate your body's innate ability to heal and balance itself on all levels. The beauty of BodyTalk is that it's designed to integrate all fields of healthcare and create a complete approach to healthcare and well-being. This includes referring a client to another healthcare practitioner or to another field of healthcare where necessary. Many people come for BodyTalk sessions to address body aches, migraines, allergies, digestive imbalances, stress, and autoimmune related diseases, issues, anxiety, depression, addictions, and so on. BodyTalk can help reduce the side effects from medications, chemotherapy, radiation, and also can speed up healing after surgery or an injury. BodyTalk works in harmony with all medications, surgery, physiotherapy, and all methods of alternative care. BodyTalk also helps with healing chronic injuries that have not recovered well. It can help resolve a difficult phase or a traumatic event in your life where you haven't fully processed the emotional content of the experience. It's also used as preventative healthcare to maintain optimal health in all levels. Regular sessions can help the body and mind function better by making it less susceptible to stress and strengthening the immune system against germs, viruses, and toxins.
Thank you so much for the explanation. Okay, I'm always very curious about how things work, and what I would like to know, what I'm very curious about, is like, how does someone's body speak to you? What do you hear?
Yeah, so your body has an inherent knowledge of itself that can be accessed to guide the practitioner during the session. In BodyTalk, this inborn intelligence or localized awareness is called innate wisdom. The BodyTalk practitioner consults this innate wisdom to determine which communication circuits have been compromised and in which order these circuits need to be reestablished to speed up your body's natural healing process. We use a form of neuromuscular biofeedback where we ask a series of yes or no questions to gather this information. To calibrate this feedback, the practitioner will gently move your forearm or wrist, checking for varying degrees of arm movement. A yes response will feel light and the arm moves easily. A no response will feel heavier and the arm is less likely to move. The BodyTalk protocol chart is used to formulate the questions asked during the session. This chart is a flow chart that represents a map of the body-mind complex. The sections of the chart address the physical, emotional, mental, energetic, environmental, and consciousness aspects of a person. The practitioner then navigates this chart to find imbalances in your body being highlighted by your innate healing wisdom. This is done to find the links needed to correct the communication breakdown in your body-mind complex. These links provide information about your body's imbalances, how they occurred, how they need to be improved, and in what order they need to be addressed. Your body will indicate a yes when there's an imbalance. The questions are then refined to find all relevant information concerning the specific imbalance. A no response ends that line of questioning and may indicate that no further details are needed. The practitioner will then continue navigating the protocol chart, asking yes or no questions until your innate wisdom signals the end of the session. For me, sometimes the yes/no response comes in other ways. I often feel a lightness sensation in my body or just a knowingness when I receive the answer. Oftentimes I'll get an audio cue or an image will pop up in my head. Sometimes even a taste or a smell will come to me when asking the questions.
That's absolutely fascinating. So for those who are not familiar with BodyTalk, what should they expect during the first session?
Yeah, so a session can take anywhere from a few minutes to an hour. The session length doesn't indicate the quality or the results. The simplest sessions can be quite profound and transformational. The session often begins with you or your practitioner discussing your health status and whatever personal issues you want to address. You'll then either relax on a treatment table or in a chair, fully dressed. The practitioner will gently use your arm to calibrate the yes/no communication, and this will establish an intuitive link with your innate wisdom. The practitioner then uses the BodyTalk protocol chart to determine the weakened or broken energy circuits that have been compromising the balance in your body-mind. These circuits are highlighted by your innate healing wisdom. The practitioner will explain to you what's happening during the session. This allows you to be part of your own healing process and have a knowledge of what's improving. This also helps you gain a deep understanding of why you have symptoms in the first place. After all the information has been gathered, the practitioner will have a formula to work with. This formula will highlight a cluster of imbalances in your body-mind complex. For every malfunctioning formula or energy circuit, you or the practitioner may hold the corresponding points or body parts with your hands to help provide focus. So for example, maybe your thymus hasn't been communicating and synchronizing correctly with your heart, resulting in a weakened immune response. The practitioner lightly touches one point in the link, say your thymus, while you touch the other, the heart. This is done to focus your awareness on the link that needs to be reconnected. We then initiate the healing by gently tapping on your head. This assists your body in making the changes. Then we tap your heart, which stores the changes, and then your gut, which integrates these changes. This stimulates the entire body-mind complex to heal. The practitioner will continue to talk to your body until innate wisdom indicates the end of the session. The body actually remembers all of the BodyTalk sessions it receives, and your healing process continues with each additional session you have. This is because your body stores the changes made by the brain during the tapping process. The number and frequency of sessions needed varies from client to client. This usually depends on the client's symptoms. It's recommended to get at least 2 to 3 sessions for desired outcome for those new to BodyTalk. For chronic health problems, having sessions once a week is recommended. For less serious issues, every 2 weeks. This is repeated for about 2 months. And if there's improvement, it's recommended to get maintenance sessions once a month. The best results come from those who have frequent sessions with close intervals, so their mind is completely focused on wanting to resolve the problem. Otherwise, momentum and mindset is lost.
Thank you so much. This is very useful. Now I'd like to talk about another topic, because you've been practicing astrology for 7 years. And I would like to know how BodyTalk and astrology work together.
Yeah, so BodyTalk and astrology can work quite nicely together. There's even a BodyTalk module that integrates astrology and uses elements about planets, signs, and houses that are relevant for the BodyTalk practitioner. For example, we use the main characteristics the planet symbolizes, the body parts ruled by the planet, and keywords taken from the planet's strengths and weaknesses. One way we work with planetary energy is to link a planet to a body part. So the archetypal energy of the planet can strengthen or modify functions of the body part. For example, the sun may come up in a session when a body part needs energizing. So if the client has a weak heart, balancing the sun to the heart will energize the depleted organ and improve its function on all levels. Sometimes we need to disassociate a body part from conflicts represented by badly aspected planets. An example is if the moon, which represents emotions and feminine energy, is in conflict with the strong masculine energy of Mars. This aspect may be harmful for the client by creating emotional and physical imbalances within a body part or the entire body-mind complex. We generally use houses to set the theme for the session. Being led to the 10th house may indicate all or a part of the session will address issues around the client's career. In a typical BodyTalk session, we don't normally delineate birth charts or do transit readings. We generally help the person to disassociate emotionally from their own story as identified by the planets involved. So for example, if a person is meant to go through a divorce, because that's what's described by the planets, they would still need to go through that experience, but the person's emotional attachment can be addressed using the appropriate planet, sign, or house during a BodyTalk session. This way, they don't need to suffer as much when going through the divorce. Sometimes during a session, I am led to the birth chart to get more details about the house ruler, difficult aspects, or the effects when multiple planets and houses are involved. But I still use the same yes/no biofeedback response to guide me.
Okay. So you have clients and, you talk to people about BodyTalk. Is there like a question that comes back often on a regular basis from these people?
Yeah. So one common question I get is, what do I feel during and after the BodyTalk session? But there's really no set answer for this. Sensations felt during a session vary from person to person. Some people experience physical feelings of warmth or coolness. Others may feel relief of pain or have a powerful emotional release. Others may experience sensations of feeling lighter, feeling more relaxed, or have an increased sense of well-being. It's even possible to feel heavier or have temporary discomfort in some parts of the body. Many clients will also hear their stomach gurgling, which is very common during a session. And this shows that your body is processing. Yawning is also very common and is one of your body's main ways of releasing. All these sensations are normal and there's nothing to worry about. It just show that shifts and changes are occurring in your body. Some people may not notice any physical sensations at all. And this doesn't mean that the session didn't work or they didn't receive the healing. Everyone's awareness of their own body is different, but almost all clients feel a sense of calm and relaxation during the treatment. And after your session, you may experience some of the things I mentioned earlier. And it's also common to feel an increased sense of awareness and clarity. There's no real side effect from doing BodyTalk. It can never do any harm because each session is guided by the client's innate wisdom. And the client's innate wisdom always knows that the client's goal will always be to heal. There's always going to be a healing process if we're bringing about change in the body during the session. For example, if someone has an arthritic knee and we do treatment that increases circulation and nerve supply to that area, the joint will function better. The knee is likely to become sore because the joint is moving more and there's a repair going on. This is part of the natural healing process and it's unavoidable. If we start using a joint that's not functioning properly in years, there's going to be some pain as it becomes mobile again. Another common healing process is when treating a chronic virus. After the session, the client will often report high temperature with some achiness. This is the most straightforward and natural way for the body to rid the virus. By actively attacking it, the virus gets stirred up, leading to some aches and pains. The increase in body temperature is the immune system's standard way for killing off viruses. So it's best to warn the client that developing a fever or some aches is part of their healing process.
Okay, very interesting. Okay, now my last question is a bit more personal, and I would like to know, what is your personal daily practice?
I don't really have a set daily practice per se. My wellness routine involves doing yoga, tai chi, studying astrology, and doing meditations and visualization exercises in Mindscape, which is a focusing tool we use to run body talk sessions. Really enjoy the physical, mental, and emotional benefits of tai chi. Our routine when I don't attend tai chi class involves practicing the forms or just doing the 5 lifting exercises. On a physical level, it really helps me relieve any tension or tightness in my body. And when I'm feeling a bit fatigued, I'll do Tai Chi to boost my energy. Tai Chi also helps manage my stress levels, eases my mind, and it enables me to get a deeper connection within myself. It really allows me to listen inwardly and connect on that deep level to notice what's happening in my body. In a way, it's like giving myself a body talk session with the added benefit of improving my Tai Chi. And during the day, when I need to clear my head, I will go into Mindscape. I will use its techniques to help de-stress both my body and my mind. This usually puts me in a more relaxed and peaceful state. Mindscape, which is part of the BodyTalk system, has techniques that teaches you how to tap into the areas of the creative and intuitive mind that's not normally accessible in our everyday mindset. Mindscape allows me to engage my intuition at will, improves my mental focus, and enhances my creative and intuitive abilities. It helps me work through limiting beliefs and fears that would prevent me from going outside my comfort zone. It also helps me gain new insights into my work, relationships, or any type of problem solving. Most importantly, it's a great focusing tool that I use to deepen my body talk sessions. I always use Mindscape before and when running body talk sessions. It helps me get into the zone faster and allows me to better tune into my clients, resulting in more powerful sessions. And Mindscape is also what I use to carry out body talk distance sessions.
Wonderful. Matt, I really want to thank you for answering all my questions. And I also want to thank you for bringing light on the topic of body talk.
Yes, yeah, great. Thank you for having me. I had a great time. Thanks.
You can learn more about Matthew by visiting the IBA Global Healing website at www.bodytalksystem.com. The link is listed below in the comment section on YouTube. Thank you to all our listeners and see you very soon for more on healing, self-love, and your personal journey.
Thank you for listening and for taking time for yourself. If you enjoyed this episode, please subscribe to our podcast, share this episode with others on social media, or leave a rating and a review. To catch the latest from Ujjwati, follow us on Instagram, Facebook, or Twitter at Ujjwati. Thanks again and see you on the next episode.